Have you ever found yourself in this situation? You're trying to explain a tiny issue to someone. Maybe it's your spouse, your boss, or a close friend. You bring all your logic, your sincerity, and every ounce of patience you have, just hoping they'll understand one thing. That hurt me. But instead of a nod or a moment of empathy, what you get back is a trial. They start twisting your words, dragging up things from 5 years ago to counterattack, and by the end of it, you're the one apologizing, even though you were the victim. So, what is our biggest mistake? It's that we walk into these conversations with a connection mindset, while the other person is playing a game of control. In psychology, this is known as an asymmetrical conflict. You're bringing flowers to a gunfight. And today, we're gonna overhaul your entire communication operating system so you can finally take back the upper hand. 1. Why they love to push your buttons. Why do toxic people constantly try to push you to your breaking point? The answer lies in a concept called narcissistic supply. Think of your emotions, your anger, your tears, or those mile-long text messages you send to explain yourself as fuel. To them, this fuel is a source of power. When you react intensely, it confirms that they still hold the remote control to your internal world. It's exactly like a conditioning experiment. They press the button by provoking you, you react by crying or arguing, and they receive their reward, that feeling of dominance. To stop this game, you don't need to win the argument. You just need to stop providing the fuel. 2. The Grey Rock tactic. The idea is dead simple. You become as boring, uninteresting, and unresponsive as a gray rock on the side of the road. When a toxic person tries to provoke you, they're hunting for drama. If you turn yourself into a gray rock, they'll quickly lose interest because there's simply nothing for them to harvest. Here's how you do it. Respond with short, neutral phrases like, okay, I see, or maybe so. For example, if they say, you're the most selfish person I've ever met, instead of defending yourself by saying, that's not true, I've done so much for you, you simply say, that's your opinion. Now, here's a critical deep dive. When you first start using Grey Rock, the other person won't just stop. In fact, they'll likely escalate. This is what psychologists call an extinction burst. Think of a vending machine. If you press the button and your soda doesn't come out, you don't just walk away. You press it harder. You kick it. You shake the machine violently. Toxic people do the same thing. They'll hurl heavier insults just to force a reaction out of you. If you can withstand that shaking the machine phase without breaking, you win. Number 3, Yellow Rock, for when you can't afford to be too cold. Grey Rock is great, but it has one major flaw. If you use it with your boss or a co-parent, your coldness can be weaponized against you. They'll take it to HR or a courtroom and say, look, this person is being uncooperative and rude. This is where you need Yellow Rock. It keeps the same core as Grey Rock, zero emotional engagement, but adds a thin, yellow layer of polite social camouflage on the outside. The formula is simple: minimum politeness plus pure logistics. For example, instead of silence or a flat okay, you text, hi, I've received the information regarding the pickup schedule for Friday. Thank you. Have a great weekend. When you look at that message, no one can accuse you of being toxic or difficult. You look professional and reasonable on paper, but energetically, you're giving them absolutely nothing. No emotional hooks for them to grab onto or attack. 4, breaking the J.A.D.E curse and installing the B, IFF filter. Empathetic people often fall into a trap called J.A.D.E. Justify, argue, defend, explain. When you say something like, I'm late because of traffic, not because I don't care about dinner, you just handed them 2 pieces of ammunition to use against you. First, the traffic, they'll tell you that you're poorly prepared. Second, your feelings about dinner, they'll claim you're just making excuses. Instead, you need to use the BIFF protocol. Brief, keep it short. Informative, stick to the facts, leave out the feelings. Friendly, Maintain a neutral, polite tone. Firm. Close the door on the conversation. Why is BIFF so effective? Because it shifts your brain from defensive mode to management mode. You're no longer a child explaining yourself to a parent. You're a manager announcing a process. 5. Protecting your reality, gaslighting, and somatic validation. The most dangerous weapon in a toxic person's arsenal is gaslighting. They will rewrite history until you start to doubt your own memory and sanity. Phrases like, "I never said that," or "You're just imagining, things are designed to make you crumble." To fight back, you need 2 anchors. First, the fact log. Stop journaling about your feelings like, "I felt so sad today." Instead, record the cold, hard facts. 2 p.m., February 2nd. Person A said X, I responded with Y. When they try to deny reality, you don't need to argue with them. You just look at your log and affirm to yourself, "I am not crazy." Second, somatic validation. Sometimes your brain can be tricked by sweet words, but your body never lies. If you're around someone and your heart starts racing, your throat tightens, or you feel a sudden wave of exhaustion after a conversation, that is your nervous system detecting a threat. It's sensing predatory intent hidden behind nice words. Learn to trust your body's signals over their spoken lies. In a battle with high conflict personalities, victory isn't getting them to apologize or admit they're wrong. They will never do that. Their psychological makeup simply doesn't allow it. True victory is detachment. Victory is when they stand right in front of you, screaming or being sarcastic, and you feel like you're just watching a boring, predictable movie. You no longer feel the pain, you no longer feel the rage, you just feel neutral. You cannot fix a machine with broken hardware using only your empathy. But you can absolutely build a glass wall around your soul so that no one can breach it. Have you ever tried the Grey Rock method? Or do you find yourself constantly falling into the J.A.D.E trap? Share your story in the comments sometimes. Just writing it out is a massive step toward healing. And don't forget to download the defense protocol linked in the description to start practicing today. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode of DeepShift.